It's tournament time for the Towson University Tigers men's lacrosse team. The Tiger Lacrosse Report starts now.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
Wise Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years at the Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome, fans, to another edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Shawn Nadelen. Coach, the Tigers taking on the Blue Hens of Delaware this Thursday up in Amherst, Massachusetts in the semifinals of the CAA Tournament. Hofstra and UMass playing the other game, so the two winners will meet on Saturday. Now, you just played Delaware a couple of weeks ago. Tight ball game till the fourth quarter when you guys were able to go on a run and win the game 13-7. But this Delaware team has certainly made a lot of strides from last year's squad.
They have. They had their a very balanced team offensively. I think they're one of the more dangerous teams in the CAA. Really athletic defensively, can stretch out and press you, in the offensive zone and then really make you have to work for quality possessions and get shots off. And they got a huge goalie in the net. And though we had pretty good success against them in the X in the first game, they've shown the ability to be very dangerous there. So that's something that obviously we're expecting a different piece out of them going into the game.
Alex Woodall had one of his best games of the year against the Blue Hens a couple of weeks ago. That's got to give him a lot of confidence going into the game, but do you worry about overconfidence because he did have such a great day?
You do worry about that. He did have a very strong game. They put themselves in a hole with, I think, 2 of the first 3 face-offs were procedures on their part, so again, you play a little bit more defensive-minded at that point, which I think allowed Alex to be that much more effective. But we're making sure we communicate to Alex that, hey man, you got to continue to stay sharp and disciplined and focused, and not take obviously the first time around as what it'll be this time. Obviously they're going to want to be better and they're going to have a plan for that, and we have to be ready for that and ready to be at our best.
How much can teams change this late in the year? I mean, you've played 13 ball games already. Delaware's played 13 ball games already. How much can you change this late in the year because you're playing a team in such a quick turnaround and seeing them again?
Yeah, it's little tweaks here and there. Very hard, I think, to truly change kind of your style or what you're doing, especially with games on either Friday or Saturday, and then playing again on Thursday with short preparation time. If you are going to change drastically, you really got to commit to it, and then something maybe you've done at the early piece of the season, and you had played a certain style, and then your guys are somewhat familiar with it, but then getting back at it, or maybe in the middle of the season, but have gotten away from, and then coming back to it. So it'd be very tough to really throw a lot of new wrinkles at your team. You want to be confident in who you are and know that what you do and what you've done recently has had success for you, and be able to go out there and play to that ability.
I guess the other thing you have to watch for as a coach is, because you played on Saturday, now you got another game on Thursday. You got to have a travel day in there too. You probably got to watch on how much you do with your team this week to get ready for Thursday's game.
Absolutely. We're monitoring, how much time they're on their legs, the physical piece to practice. I think it needs to be, a good equal part of mental preparation as well as physical for our guys. We're still a young team and inexperienced, to say. So again, making sure those guys are getting the reps that they need, but also the mental preparation is important with the film study, and understanding what we need to prepare for and how we need to prepare is huge. With a young team, last year's squad where we were a little bit more experienced, especially offensively, you could dumb down practice quite a bit in regards to reps, because those guys have played a lot of minutes over their career. This year, you still need to continue to work with that chemistry and continuity in practice.
The other thing you have is you have a senior class here. They've won the CAA championship every year of their career. You're going for a four-peat here. So I'm sure those guys are kind of stressing to the younger guys how important this is. We got to win it again.
Yeah, and it was really neat to see Calvin Livingston in our huddle in between the third and fourth quarter in the defensive huddle kind of step up and then make his voice known in regards to, guys, we got 15 minutes left, and to move on and obviously earn the win and move on into the CAA tournament, and that's where we want to be. All right, so let's lock it down defensively and then get after it and go from there. So you could see obviously how important it is to him, and I think that for the seniors, I think obviously it's very important to those guys as well as the team, but the team probably feels it a little bit more from the seniors and making it that much more important.
When you get into this tournament situation, and again, you've hosted the last couple of years, now you're on the road, you win on Thursday, now you've got to turn around and play again on Saturday. How much can you do between Thursday night, you got a late game Thursday night, to get ready for a Saturday afternoon game?
Yeah, you can't do a ton. Again, it comes down to the mental prep, especially with both those teams that are in the other semifinal being very, very athletic, very dangerous. So you got to make sure you're rested, physically and be able to squeeze as much juice out of the guys, if you're in that situation to play on Saturday, come game day, and make sure they're getting good rest, good fluids, nutritionally, they're eating clean, doing all the recovery process to make sure they're ready to go for that championship game.
All right, so the Tigers will take on the Blue Hens of Delaware Thursday night, 7:30. I'll have the call for you at 7:15 on TowsonTigers.com, coming to you from Amherst, Massachusetts. And then hopefully Saturday I'll be with you at 12:45 for the championship game, as the Tigers hopefully taking on either Hofstra or UMass Saturday afternoon for the right to go to the NCAA tournament. So for head coach Shawn Nadelen, I'm Spiro Morekas. Thanks for watching another edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. And as always, go Tigers.